Virgo, good morning. How you doing? Wow, did you guys hit it out the park last time when I asked you all of those things about subscribing and liking and watching it all the way through to the end because it messes up the algorithm? And then all of a sudden there was 3,000 views on the last video that I did for Virgo. So how are you, Virgo? Yeah, all same applies. Please smash that like button. Let's get that up there. Any kind of comment, any emoji or anything like that, even if you can't be bothered. Like button doesn't take long, and then just watch the video all the way through at the end. And you could be dealing with a narcissist. Well, I don't know. This is paranoid, worried about anything that's going on. Like I'm over anxious and I'm over worried about something that might be going on in my life. I really don't know what's going on next door. That's what I'm hearing. Next door. What is going on next door? Next door neighbours, someone from Australia. But like, I got no idea what's going on next door. Anyway, for any of you that is nothing to do with your next door neighbour, I'm definitely hearing like I'm confused, I'm like paranoid, I'm worried, like I'm just it's the 9 of Wands, Virgo. Let's see, Virgo, what's going on with Virgo for the next 48 hours? So Ace of Wands, I'm worried about the dick. So it's like this, I'm hearing like, what do you call it? Like a dictator, someone that's dictating the way things that they should go. Like, if it doesn't go my way, I'm going to dictate it to go in the way that I want it, like a false dictation, okay? But like this, like if it doesn't go my way, I'm going to dictate it in the way that I want it to go. And when things don't go my way, then I'm worried that it's, I don't know, I'm picking up a lot of confusion from this 9 of Wands, where it could be you or your partner, really. There's opportunities out there to do with your love life and passion, but it feels like that when you do things with the Ace of Wands, right, which could be anything anyone's doing with an Ace of Wands, but if we look at it as creativity, it's like someone sabotages someone else's creativity. It's like, I'm being really creative, I'm talking about spiritual stuff, or I'm doing this and whatnot, and the other person, or yourself, doesn't like the fact that the other person is creating and expressing their self in certain ways. Like, I don't like the way that you express yourself with things that you do that like really fulfill you and get you going. Okay. I don't like when you do that. So someone doesn't like self-expression, if you like. Okay. Now, I mean, that could be anybody on YouTube or anything that you know, that you do that's like for joy. Okay. It's kind of like putting a damper on it and kind of like, oh, fuck, I actually really like doing that. And you're like, yeah, well, I don't. And you're like, what? So that's the Ace of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. There's a job within the next 48 hours of obviously earning some extra hours. That's normally my bosses ask me to pick up some extra hours at work, and I'm going to clock in at say 5 in the morning, and I'm going to work until 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so it's like starting early, finishing late. Okay, someone is having trouble. Don't laugh, but in the bedroom of finishing. Like, I'm not, you're not finishing me off, right? It's kind of like that. I don't get any pleasure from this anymore because you're finishing, but I'm not finishing. It's kind of like a race in the bedroom department, unless you work there, Virgo. But it's kind of like, you know, you get to finish or I get to finish, but the other one isn't getting to the point where like, you're getting satisfaction, but I ain't getting no satisfaction out of it. Mick Jagger, Mick, Michael, Melissa, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, picking up some extra hours. Let's see, Virgo, next 48 hours for Virgo. So you got the 7 of Cups, someone that may have attention deficit disorder, finding it very difficult to concentrate on someone that is confusing the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is obviously my brain fog, and I can't seem to multitask or multi-focus. I need to be focused in one direction, which is pretty much my money. And when you're focused on money, then I don't know. I'm getting this feeling of where it's like tense around this connection that you've got with this person, where it's kind of like, oh, here we go again, man. It's like you're going to start like, dictating the way things that should go, or you're going to start telling me that when I'm focused in a certain direction, that it's my fault because I have a mental illness, okay? Because I'm not concentrating, because I'm not thinking. It's like, yeah, well, you should have thought before you did it. And it's like, well, you should have looked before you leaped. But I'm thinking, and it's like, yeah, well, you're not thinking. It's kind of like this feeling that seems to be floating through this reading here, Virgo. Now, obviously, you've got people here that are all up in the clouds with the majority of people that actually talk about karmics these days, they're single, they're on their own, and you mess up your own commitments and your own things going on when you're listened and brainwashed by too many fucking people on YouTube that talk about the karmic. Why do people do that? It's kind of like as if, well, you're exempt from karma when karma just means memory. It's just a memory that just replays out in one's mind. Saturn, okay, you can be doing the good, loads of good in the world and giving and giving and giving to people, and you get treated like trash. How's that a karmic energy? Karma doesn't mean that, but people keep banging on about this is karmic, that's karmic, this is your karma, this is your karmic person. Like, what? You got no idea. Sorry, but it just, oh man, it's so... Okay. Let's see. Virgo, for the next 48 hours. You see, the trouble is the karmic energy, when people express it, it's the placebo. It's because loads of people have tried to transform it when they started doing tarot, talking about karmics. And then the twat flame stuff come in, they start talking about the karmics. And then it was like, okay, your karmic is preparing your butterfly so they come floating back to you in your arms and you're with your karmic. Oh. Anal. Let's see, Virgo. Let's see, Virgo, what's going on with Virgo, please, for the next 48. So, Six of Pentacles, Gemini, maybe Capricorn. Okay, Seven of Wands. You've got a very sporadic kind of reading here that doesn't make too much sense. Okay, the sense that makes none. Someone that's religious or the nun. Libra, that's normally my Libra kind of card in my head. It's like this, I care about you, I want you, but I don't want you the way you are, and I need you to change for me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like someone keeps trying to change a person and mold them into something that they want them to be, instead of just letting the person be who they want through self-expression and money. Okay, because you've got this where this 9 starts off and then the 7 starts to build up boundaries and push the person away because it's kind of like they're annoying someone, or they're just paranoid. Like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. If you do this, then that's going to happen. And you're like, no, it isn't. Like, and then you get into like this, I don't know. Now, if you're not dealing with any, you could be dealing with a Pisces, that's my not card, or Life Path 3. But if you're not actually dealing with anyone, then there's a lot of paranoid, delusional behavior that's actually scaring men or women off, okay? Because of the amount of like boundaries, like, oh no, all men are the same, they're karmics, and going on about all of that, and like ruining all connections that are there because of being paranoid. Okay, like following too much crap advice and then ruining connections and being paranoid. It's difficult dating a person or going out or even having a friend that's paranoid. Okay, because they start splurting things out are going to happen and worrying and panicking, and you're kind of like, what's wrong with you? That isn't, it's not happening. Like, anyway, let's see. So what's the 9 of Wands here for Virgo for the next 48? So, oh dear, the karmics. The Devil. You've got some kind of like obsessive behavior going on. Obsessions, okay. Obsessed about a partner, but the devil is now taken over the paranoia in one's mind, right? It's now playing tricks on someone, okay. So it means that being influenced in certain ways. You see, you could have listened to too much stuff that's involving like witchcraft and twat flames, and you've been influenced by the wrong people to believe in the wrong thing. It's up to you here. Ace of Wands, I'll just let people destroy themselves. Watch the Ace of Wands. Sorry, Virgo. So this is trying to, like, I'm really trying my best in order to, like, doesn't have to be you. It can be like, this is you, that's your partner, or that's your partner, that's you, or whichever way around, right? But the story seems to be where I am trying my best in order to, like, create things that I love creating, like poetry, art, music, dancing, whichever way around, right? But the magician is someone that follows their passion, and they follow their dreams, and they go after what they want, and they're not worried, they're not paranoid, they go after that sort of thing. Okay, but the Nine of Wands and the Devil are like spiritual hating people. Okay, people, like I said, they have, like, try to have influence in other people's relationships, or like, because you do, you know, voodoo, or like, I'm trying to influence you not to do something that is destined for you to do. I'm trying to stand in the way of you self-expressing yourself in certain ways.
Nice.
You serious?
Here. It's really what it is with the Ace of Wands and the Magician. Someone's trying to manifest through their passion and their creation, and maybe trying to earn some money. Like the Ace of Pentacles can be, okay, I've got like a really good idea. Why don't we do this? And like, no, you know, what? Why not? I think that's a great idea. That'll bring in money. No, money's the root of all evil. You don't earn money doing that. And you're like, what? Why not? You kind of like, that's a brilliant idea. Like, you know, that'll really help. And the other person's kind of like, no, like putting a damper on people following their calling, pretty much. So what's this weird reading, Leo? Leo? Could be Leo. Virgo. Ace of Pentacles is the Seven of Swords. Things are getting really difficult now. Okay, someone might be really struggling to keep up with their payments of a car or something. Some of you are just like metaphysically chasing someone that doesn't exist. Could be an ex or a partner, because I'm not really seeing any kind of communication here. This is just floating around the ethers of metaphysical land, and like, this is also someone that's worried about what it is that the other person does for their work. Like, they do a certain job, and the other person thinks that something is going to be taken from them. Because the Ace of Pentacles is like, you know, someone that's trying to earn some money, and the Seven of Swords is someone that's trying to go after what they want, but they keep getting held up, or Helga, but they keep getting held up by the other person not liking when they go after money. Like, you know, where's money in that direction? Okay. And the other person doesn't like, it's kind of like they're resenting someone here for having certain opportunities in their life. Tell me more about this Seven of Swords. Leo in reverse. I don't know what's going on here. So you've got either Leo, Aquarius, or Life Path 8. You've got someone that uses like intimidation to try and intimidate someone, or feeling intimidated, feeling as if you're going to leave me or walk out on me. But strength in reverse can be an energy of like someone that, like a feral cat, okay, that uses like mood swings or like intimidation or feeling intimidated, that you're intimidating me, you're backing me into a corner, you're making me feel awkward, you're making me feel frustrated, but you're using intimidation to try and stop me. Okay, I want to do this. Well, I don't. Okay, yeah, but I really want to. And then it's like intimidating someone. Okay, it's like the other person feels as if you're trying to make me leave. You're trying to push me out. You're trying to push me out, but you're trying to push me out, or you're trying to push me away, but you're pulling me away. You're actually pushing. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Well, stop doing what you're doing. Why should I stop doing that for what you want me to do when that's what I want to do? You know, and it's kind of like this person can end up starting to use like intimidating tactics to get what they want, and they'll intimidate until they get what they want here. So let's see what the Seven of Cups is for here. Seven again. And the Four of Cups. It's like this very awkward reading of trying to get someone to not be ADHD, to not have it. Like, I get frustrated because you've got a mental illness, right? And I'm frustrated the fact that you keep getting distracted and waiting on opportunities of money, but you don't pay attention to me. This is also like not paying attention, right? Like, hello, I'm here. And you're like, yeah, what's that? And you're like, you're not paying any attention to my feelings, to my needs, to what I want. You will have ADHD. Yeah, well, that's your fault, not mine. So why are you not listening to what I want? Every time I talk to you, you don't listen. Well, that's called ADHD. You have it. No, I haven't got. Well, no, you haven't, have you? So you don't know what it feels like to have to sit here, okay, getting distracted by things that are going on in my life. And I might be like really suffering. Now, how many times do you hear it on the internet where, say, if someone goes really quiet and they go off, okay, that people judge other people for having a mental illness instead of where they should be concerned about the person for having a mental illness, okay? So it's like emotionally distant, but this person, it's like they don't get it. Like they won't. If one is mentally ill and the other one isn't mentally ill, okay, what you get is emotionally distant and distracted. I have ADHD myself, right? Unmedicated. I'm not medicated with ADHD. It takes 3 years in Britain. Well, about 2 years maybe. But again, it's like this awareness that I'm trying to make you aware of the things and pull you up on, make you aware of what you're doing wrong. But it's not wrong to the other person. It's like, well, I need to keep making you aware that you're going to make a mistake. And, you know, it's nothing to fucking do with you. You know, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Yeah, but you need to get that. You're like, no, I don't want to do that. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Right? And I need to keep making you aware that you're making mistakes or going to make a mistake and stop you from doing it before you've done it. It could even be like leaving someone, intimidating them to not leave something here or not be happy with your or someone else's relationship. And I'm trying to have my word and I'm trying to make you understand that this isn't good for you, but you keep doing it. But I need to come to that I need to come to that notion myself, not from you. Okay. Believe you me, if someone has ADHD, if this is even worse, right? If you tell them, that's going to make things 10 times worse. If you say it very gently, okay, that they're not listening, but you kind of say it in a very polite manner, you'll get someone that listens to you. They'll be like, oh, sorry. But the moment you're kind of like getting frustrated with them, they'll get even more frustrated and stick their heels in even more to the point of pushing. You've pushed me to the limit to actually push you out because you're now pissing me off now. You know, you keep pushing and pushing and pushing to the point where I am going to close down on you. But then all you're going to do is blame me for pushing you out and leaving you. And then you get into this very awkward, dramatic type sort of next 48 hours of feeling very tense. Okay. Could even be past tense. Now, if there is a third party, this energy right in the middle here, if you can see it, right, keeps going back to things that are also toxic in one life, but then coming over to here and being influenced here and not being welcomed or wanted here and keeps going back over to here. Okay. Now, for any of you that are anal, right, that think that going through situations with a partner is unhealthy, depending on what situation you're going. If you just run off straight away and you're schizophrenic and paranoid and you spend the majority of the time on your own, but you end up complaining about, say, other people's relationships, okay, because I got a feeling of like hating other people's stuff here, okay, or other people's partner. You're not actually learning anything if you don't. It's kind of like going to school, but actually not going to school, and then you're not going to learn anything. But you think, oh, okay, I'm going to go to school, but I'm going to stand in the corridor, or I'm going to have detention, and I'm not learning anything because I'm actually not participating at school. Relationships and people in life are exactly the same. If you avoid, okay, and you're paranoid and you avoid every single circumstance that comes up in your life, you're not going to physically, mentally, or anything else learn from anything, because you have to learn like a child of learning your own mistakes. If I make a mistake, I either rectify it or I run off and don't deal with it, but I'll deal with it at another point. That's prolonging the inevitable. That's like needing to actually leave someone, but you don't leave someone, and it's very violent and all that sort of stuff. And you, or a marriage, and you're not happy in the marriage, but you won't leave the marriage. You keep doing it over and over again. To those people that do that, I applaud them, because they're actually willing to try and work on something and actually learn. And what they are doing, participating in singlehood, and actually like trying to tell people what they should be doing in their own relationships when they're not in them themselves and prepared to learn. That's where people deal with these karmics, right? So they're not in relationships, right? So they're not learning anything. You can't learn something on your own unless you watch Google or YouTube, but you're learning it from someone, right? You just sit there in a quiet room on your own. You're not actually learning anything, right? So if you're with someone and you're going through it, at least you are willing to work on things and also learn by past mistakes by continuing to work on. Okay. Swear to God, I did videos after people complain and they don't watch any of my teaching videos where I've explained all of these sort of things in depth. Right. So yeah, enough. Sorry. So there's your reading. It's not really making too much sense at the moment. Luckily, it is only the next 48 hours. Now, for you guys that are like, that doesn't work and this doesn't, I'm getting it all again, complaints everywhere again, Virgo, but we do have to deal with that when you're a tarot card reader. But anyway, I digress. They do, you know, I've seen these readings of the next 48 hours really coming to light when you give it a chance to look back and think, oh, that actually really does ring a bell, John. Okay, so if you really want to help me out and you want your weekly readings where they are all now being done and I'm started again and we go over all of these questions, I'm doing 2 weekly readings now. So you're getting this week and next week. Okay, this week and next week. So you're getting 2 in 1. And then I'll do you another one, okay? But that is on the silver tier over on Patreon. I really hope you guys think about joining because it helps me survive, because YouTube's wages are really not very good. They're really not, you can't live off that. Okay, so Patreon is what keeps me going. If you can't afford Patreon, the join button is below. That does give you a certain amount of readings on there, like monthlies and stuff, that you can watch, okay? And then you get, when I go live, you can have a question and answer and all that sort of stuff. I think there's 6 teaching videos over there as well. You can buy the teaching videos singly over on Patreon. There's a lot of stuff below if you can just participate in the channel. I really will appreciate it, Virgo. Okay, guys, so thanks very much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.